So I have to say I really enjoyed the talk between Jude, I'm just going to call him Jude, and Guts at the beginning of this chapter, chapter 16 of Berserk. They're basically talking about what makes the Hawk different from other mercenary groups. But the entire time that Jude's talking about this, um, Guts has only one singular thought, and that is about Griffith. And he asks Jude, what kind of man is Griffith? And Jude really can't answer. And Guts is like, you are attracted to a dude you know nothing about. You know what I mean? And Jude's like, whoa, 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 let me explain. And he explains, he really can't put a finger on what makes Griffith so different than everybody else. He says, um, is he good? Is he pure evil? Is he this? Is he that? He can't tell. He goes, but he has this confidence that nobody else has. What is it that makes a man able to gather other men under him? And they're just talking about Griffith, and Guts is trying to understand more about Griffith. I really enjoyed the fact that Jude was like, we're a lot younger than other mercenary groups. We're not the same as other mercenary groups where we just think about ourselves, survival, and money. At the end of the day, we lose comrades, we win battles, but we're still able to cry, laugh, and get angry. We're still humans, we're still people. And I really did enjoy that sort of philosophical talk between Guts and Jude. But as they're talking, Guts gets called over to talk to Griffith, and Griffith is butt-ass naked. And he asks Guts to join him. Guts is like, no, and Griffiths is like, come on, man, throws water on him. And they get into a little water fight, because, after all, they are still children. I think, they're like 15 years old. They're still kids, so they're acting like kids. They're throwing water on each other. And this scene has some kind of importance, at least for me. Knowing what we know about Griffith, as the Black Swordsman arc, as Guts as the Black Swordsman, Griffith did something to Guts. He put the brand of sacrifice on him, and this, that, and the other thing. Uh, it's starting to make me feel like Griffith isn't that bad of a person at this point in time in the background story. You know, when Jude and Guts were talking, he said, he can, give you this cold glare, but then he could be smiling the next minute. He's a very multi-dimensional character. He's a very complex character, a complex person. And when Guts and Griffith are throwing water at each other, they're almost just playing with each other as friends, as kids, not as mercenaries, not as enemies. They're just acting like kids in the moment, having fun. And Guts even throws some water at him at the end, and now we're even, he says, and Griffith is like, you're a stubborn one, you win. But then Griffith starts to talk to Guts, and Guts is like, why did you come back to save me? You did not answer me. And Griffith responds with, I just found something amazing that I wanted. Why would I lose it in a petty battle? And then I immediately go back to the whole thing. He's looking at people like property. That is how he's treating these people. But then he says, this battle last night, these are mere steps. This is just the offset. We're destined for other things, basically. He's like, this is just the beginning. He goes, fight alongside me, Guts, along the Hawk. I will take hold of my own country. And then that was the end of that. And then we see Guts just chilling. He's thinking about what he's been doing for the last 4 years. He's just been, fighting from battle to battle, prolonging his life. What is he doing? These words from Griffith is starting to make Guts think philosophically. Think about, his past and whatnot. What have you been doing with your life? And I think he's really starting to look up to Griffith. I think he's starting to realize there's more to life than just battle after battle after battle. I need to survive, I need to survive, I need to survive. So now that he's actually sitting there and he's thinking about it, he's just starting to change. I can see a change in Guts. And he's even laughing. He's like, that's a bold statement to say. You're going to take hold of your own country. You're not even an aristocrat. You're not even nobility. You're not even a knight. If anything, you're a commanding officer. But hey, the dude has dreams. You can't sell him short on that. And then I think it was Rickert shows up and knocks Guts into the water, and Guts is like, haven't I had enough trouble with water today? and he wants to congratulate Guts because Guts has been promoted to a squad leader. I guess after the whole talk with Griffith, Griffith is like, you know what? I'm going to make this dude a squad leader. He proved himself in battle. You know, I admire him. He's an amazing warrior. I'm going to make him a squad leader. And obviously, you give somebody the confidence, you give that person that status, it's going to make them want to fight for you. It's going to make them want to be by your side. And that's what Griffith wants. So at this point, Griffith is playing the game in some kind of way. And he wants to, he keeps calling Guts Mr. Guts, and Guts is starting to get more familiar with these people. He's like, Guts is fine. And he's thinking to myself, for the time being, I will fight along the Hawk. And then Pippin knocks both of them in the water. It's just the comedy, We're in such a dark series. We got heads being lobbed off, arms being lobbed off. We have what we know about, Griffith and Guts' relationship in the future. Everything's so dark, and there's still comedy in the series. And I really like that Kentaro Miura puts this in his series. He really is a genius writer, and he just mixes the different elements really well. There is a scene when Guts and Griffith were talking. Guts is staring at something on Griffith's neck. It's a necklace. He goes, what is that? He goes, oh, I got this from an old gypsy woman. It's called the Bayolet. I'm like, okay, now we're starting to see things come together. And he says, or the Conqueror's Egg, he calls it. And he says, apparently it will take your flesh and blood, but you'll be able to take hold of what you want. Take hold of the world. And that's why Griffith said he wants to take his own country. And Griffith is like, cool, isn't it? And he has this like really childish like smile on his face. But Guts is like, that's kind of gross because the thing's eye opens and looks at Guts. So now we're finally starting to see the Bayolet come into play in the past. And obviously he's going to play some kind of role because Griffith becomes a god hand, and the Bayolets are used for humans to become apostles. Obviously, it's going to be used for Griffith to become a god hand in some way. And I want to see what kind of, if you want to call it descent or his uprising, I want to see how this plays out with the Bayolet and Griffith and Guts. And we're starting to see it coming into play now. But let me know your thoughts on the chapter 16 of Berserk, guys. Golden Age, I think it was part 8. Let me know your thoughts on my thoughts. If you feel I deserve it, you want to see more Berserk reviews, hit the like button. If you want to support me 100%,